What is your expectation in terms of, whether we're going to see an update to that vaccine? We just spoke with Stefan Bancel from Moderna last hour, who suggested really the focus is on the fall for figuring out the right strains for then. But of course, we're already seeing Israel giving fourth booster doses. So what do you think the future holds in terms of when we'll be getting the next boosters and what those boosters are going to contain?
I wouldn't say that the future is clearly predictable right now, but what I think it is that we are doing everything we can so that we can stay ahead of the virus. And let me start with, I don't know if there is a need for a fourth booster. That's something that needs to be tested. And I know that Israel already started some of these experiments, and we will conduct also some of these experiments to make sure that if needed, we use it. I don't think we should do anything that is not needed. Also, we are working on a new version of our vaccine, a version that will be effective against Omicron as well. It's not that will not be effective against the other variants, but against Omicron as well. And the hope is that we will achieve something that will have way, way better protection, particularly against infections, because the protection against the hospitalizations and the severe diseases, it is reasonable right now with the current vaccines, as long as you are having, let's say, the third dose. This vaccine will be ready in March. I don't know if we will need it. I don't know if and how it will be used, but will be ready. And in fact, we already starting manufacturing some of these quantities at risk. So if there is a need for that vaccine, that we will have some immediately, because there are a lot of governors that would like to see it immediately. And clearly, also the pill, right? Right now, this is where most of the effort of most of the governments is moving. When I see from the mobility of our antiviral, they are all placing orders, and some of them they are discussing right now about stockpiling. And we're waiting eagerly to see the results from the countries that already is circulating in real world data. We have the US, we have Israel, we have other places that's already there.
Well, let's talk about that pill, Paxlovid. Of course, this is a hope of so many people amid what we're going through right now with Omicron. But here in the U.S., and I imagine it's the same in every country, the supply is really constrained. Expected to be about 265,000 courses in the U.S. by the end of January, 10 million by the end of June. What can you tell us about the cadence of the delivery between now and the summertime for getting those more doses in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's going to go exponentially up month after month. So it's not going to be just 10% or 20% the month after. It's going to be 2-3 times, and then we are going to go again 2-3 times, et cetera, et cetera. We should be having, you spoke about 200-something thousands in January. We should be having at least 6 million by March. And then we are going really, really big. We should be having other 24 million in the next quarter, so 30 all the way to half the year. And right now we are already at 120 capacity, but because there are discussions about stockpiling, we are trying to understand if and how we could scale up even more.
Albert, I'm curious how you think about, given the number of breakthrough cases that we're seeing with Omicron, whether you think that that's going to suppress the public's appetite longer term for boosters over time.
I think this is a real risk because, there is always the element of people could get tired. But I believe that this situation has, unfortunately, not fortunately, but unfortunately, formed two camps, two different mindsets. There is a mindset that they are very fanatic, that they are don't want vaccine. And there's a mindset of other people that they want maximum protection. So I believe in the element in this segment of the people that they do believe in the value of the vaccine, the people that they want maximum protection, I think they will follow at large the instructions of the healthcare authorities and their physician. The other camp, which is the ones that they are very skeptical, I think they will remain skeptical. And for them, I think, unfortunately, the solution only will be the pill if they get diseased. And then there is in between, which is the number of people, which is smaller, the segment, that it can go one way or another. And this is where education needs to help.